My name is Miranda and I'm a biology, hopefully pre-med major, and I'm in a first-year interest group.
Semester.
My name is Miranda and I am a biology major, and I'm hoping to do pre-med or pre-dent, and I'm in a first-year interest group this semester. All right, let's see. My name is Miranda and I am a biology, either pre-med or pre-dent major, and I am a part of a first-year interest group this semester. Coming into college, I was really concerned about, first of all, meeting new people, and then also just adjusting to like the studying, because I'd heard a lot about how different it is from high school to college and just like the transition academically. So coming from high school to college, I was very concerned about, first of all, meeting new people since it's such a big campus, and then second of all, just adjusting the studying from high school to college, because I'd heard a lot about how different it was coming from high school into college, like academically. So I was very concerned about that transition for sure. Coming into college from high school, I was very concerned about meeting new people on such a big campus. And especially I come from a pretty small town of 30,000 people. So coming to a campus that is bigger than your hometown is kind of scary. So I was definitely concerned about meeting new people. And also I was concerned about transitioning from like high school academically to college academically. I was worried about, I guess, the workload in college because I'd heard a lot and I really wasn't sure what to expect really with it. I didn't know how much harder it would be or if it would be around the same. So that was definitely a concern, just not knowing how much of a difference it was going to be.
That was a great transition.
I would definitely say I met a lot of people in my small group, and also I made connections with, first of all, Sneha, which is my leader of the first year interest group, and she really helped to like kind of let you know what you needed to do to transition, and just meeting people that you could study with definitely helped to get like groups together. With the small group, you definitely met a lot of people in your major, so you had people to study with in groups, and also having a first year interest group leader, they helped you understand what you needed to do to transition from high school to college, a little bit about like what they'd found from their academics and things like that. And also having an advisor, it helped to be able to know what classes to take and just know academically what you needed to do.
From high school into college.
Getting into a first year interest group, you have around, I'd say around 15 to 20 people who are in the same major as you, who are working towards kind of the same goals. Most of them want to be pre-med or pre-dent or something in the medical field. So it's definitely helped me meet people and make connections with people who are also freshmen who kind of want to get to the point where you're going. So it's nice to be able to share that with them and to know other people are going through the same things as you. And also, it's nice to have an advisor and a first year interest group leader who kind of know like the ropes and know how to help you and what to do, like not only with your schedule, but also my first year interest group leader, she's been through all the classes. She was a bio pre-med major, so she definitely knew like what classes to take, kind of a little bit of like hints of how to succeed in your classes. So being in a first year interest group is really good because you get to meet a group of people, around 15 to 20 people, who are in your same major and trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do. All of the people in my first year interest group are either pre-med or pre-dent or some like form of wanting to go into the medical field, which is the same as me. So it's nice to be able to not only study with them, which helps with the academics. My small group definitely helped me in meeting new people who were in the same major as me, and also being able to form connections where I could study with them or we could just really talk about kind of like our journey and the problems that we're having. I definitely had people who were going through the same things as me. And then my advisor was very good about kind of like helping us plan out our schedules for the future, helping us know what we need to do to graduate on time, and helping us just like know what to expect. And also my first year interest group leader was very good because she is also a bio pre-med major. So she was able to kind of tell us what classes we needed to take as well, and also give us like tips about studying. And they like had a day where we just like learned study tips and how to not stress ourselves out and everything like that. I'd say definitely my advisor was a big resource. Being able to go talk to him whenever I needed to ask about future classes or current classes, it was definitely good to be able to go talk to him if I needed to. Also, one thing that I found was the interactive degree audit, which is where you can see what classes you need to take for your major and if you're on the right track to graduating on time in 4 years. Okay. I did go to the undergraduate writing center, and it was a big help. In my undergraduate studies class, he really encouraged us to go there and get help on all of our essays. And we got to sit down, and they helped me like proofread my paper and stuff. And that was really nice to have a second opinion on what you had already written. So.
To take next.
One thing that I've used a lot, probably a bit too much, is the interactive degree audit. I use it to just make sure I'm on the right track. It gives you like a little percentage saying how much of your degree you've completed, and like it has the years, so like 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. And it really lets you know like what classes you need to take in the future and what classes like you're taking now. So that's definitely going to help me graduate in 4 years. And it also has helped me plan out my schedule. I'm able to say I need to take this class this semester, this class this semester, and this is what I need to do to graduate in 4 years. In my first year interest group, we got to meet with my chemistry professor, and the class is huge. It's 500 people. So to be able to just sit there and like with only 20 people and listen to him talk, you got a better feel for who he was as a person, and it made it a lot less scary to like go up to him and approach him in the future. So in my first year interest group, my chemistry teacher came to talk to us, and it was really interesting because normally it's in a lecture hall with 500 other students, and here we got to see him just pretty much one-on-one. It was like 20 people in a room, so you got to be really close to him and like hear his story, and it really made him not as much of like a scary person like in the front of the room lecturing, but more of a person, and he told us about his like personal life. So that was a really positive experience, getting to hear that he's a real person too, and he's not just some scary professor. I definitely would say I discovered a lot about myself this semester, a lot about what I thought about college turned out being kind of wrong, and just knowing more about the college. Okay, so whenever I came to college, I guess I had a different idea of what it would be like. I definitely thought it was going to be more similar to high school than it kind of is. It's definitely a lot harder than I believed it was going to be. But I've also discovered that if you put time and effort into it, you can do it. It's not impossible, and you just have to really put that time and effort into your classes. I've discovered that college is a lot different than high school. I've discovered that it's a lot more work and you can't put things off like you could in high school. But I've also discovered that it's definitely doable if you put the time and the effort into your classes. Like you can do well in them, and just to be like positive and really encourage yourself to. I have discovered that high school is a lot different than college, and that college is a lot more work, and that you do have to plan your time out accordingly. However, I've also discovered that you can do it, and that if you put the time and the effort in, you will see like your rewards in your classes. I've definitely had those tests that I've studied a lot in advance for, and it's really paid off, and it makes you feel good, and it makes you feel like you've really accomplished something.
That was beautiful.
The things that surprised me were kind of how big the classes were and how different they are from high school. I think the fact that you're not like one-on-one with your teacher and that you kind of like sit by different people every day, like you don't get to know everyone in your classes because it's impossible with like 500 people in a class to know the same person that you're sitting by every day. So that definitely surprised me. It was a very big change for me to like not have that tight, close group of people since I came from a pretty small high school. So it's been a lot different, and that surprised me.
This first semester.
The small group has definitely facilitated me meeting new people from my major, people who are interested in the same things that I am in the medical field, and just like getting to do fun stuff with them. One time we explored the campus through like a scavenger hunt. We've gone to like Union Bowling. So it's been really fun. We've done fun things where you really get to know them well, but you also have people that you can study with if you want to study in a group. I would definitely say to not only to join a first year interest group, but also just work on your time management skills and make sure that you do plan out what you need to do. And also don't get behind. You don't want to get behind on your work and then be struggling to catch up, because that just causes unneeded stress for you whenever like your tests start coming up. So I would say definitely keep on top of things and make sure that you're getting your work done and not, I guess, procrastinating too much like you did in high school.
Somebody starting out at UT.
My best advice for someone starting out at UT is to not get too behind and to really work on your time management skills and to work on transitioning from how you studied in high school to how you study in college, because it's definitely a big change in what you have to do. And I would say don't procrastinate, keep on top of everything that you need to do. And also don't, I guess, stress yourself out, because that was a big problem with me the first part of my freshman semester, was really just stressing myself out kind of unneededly, and it got kind of overwhelming at times. So I'd say just like relax, work on your work, and just relax and make sure you get everything that you need to do done. My best advice to someone just starting out at UT would be to really work on getting everything done on time. Don't get too far behind on your work. You need to work on your time management a little bit in college, and also try to learn how to adjust your studying from high school to studying for college pretty early on, because sometimes it can get overwhelming, and also not to stress themselves out too much, because in my first semester of my freshman year, I definitely stressed myself out a lot, and as the year went on, I've gotten better at not stressing myself out, and I think it's really helped just trying to like relax and not get too overwhelmed.
What are
I would say that I just tell myself that it's all going to be okay in the end. So with joining organizations and also keeping up with your academics, you definitely have to have a balance. You have to make sure that you're not falling behind on your studies because you're trying to get too involved. I would definitely suggest trying to get involved in organizations and volunteering, but I would also say not to try to like spread yourself too thin. I would say, especially first semester of freshman year, to kind of start out slow, maybe get involved in a few groups, check out a few groups, but also really concentrate on your studying as well.
Very good. Coming to UT?
My time management has gotten a lot better at UT because in high school I was able to procrastinate a lot. I was able to maybe study the morning before a test and I would still get an A on it. But in college, you just can't study the morning before and then just get an A. So definitely my time management, I've gotten better at like planning things out and making sure that I have time enough to do everything because that's definitely important in college.
What's it been like for you?
Coming from a small town that I've lived in all of my 18 years, I never moved out of that town. It was crazy moving to Austin, which is so big and so different than from where I'm from. But it was definitely, it's been crazy, it's been different. But I'd say just going out and exploring was really good for me. Going around Austin, just trying to find out where everything is, has been fun and also just kind of like.
City.
So I'm from a town of 30,000 people that I've lived in my whole entire life. I never moved from that city. So it was a lot different moving to Austin, which is so large and so different from where I'm from. But for me, what really helped me get used to Austin was just going out and exploring, like doing some of the more like touristy things in Austin, like going to South Congress, going to Zilker Park, just doing all the things that I guess a true Austinite would do. So that's been very fun, and it's helped me get used to my surroundings and become more comfortable in the city. So coming to Austin, I would say one of my biggest concerns was leaving everyone from home behind and coming and pretty much starting over from scratch and having to meet completely new friends. So my advice for meeting new people would be to really get out there, especially in the first few weeks. In the first few weeks, like your dorms will put on stuff, UT puts on things, different organizations put on things, where you can go out and you can really, it's kind of geared to getting to know people in your first few weeks and getting to make those connections. So I went out and I made a lot of friends that way, and not only just people that you can say hi to, but also really close friendships were started in those first few weeks. So I would say to go out there and try to just, especially before really classes start, that's whenever I met a lot of people, before classes start, and you had that week or two of just getting to be able to go out and meet people. So coming to UT, I would say it was really a big fear of mine to not really meet anyone, since I was leaving pretty much all of my friends back home or some went to other colleges, and also not having my family support system here. I was very concerned, and I didn't really know how I was going to meet new people. But in the first few weeks, from whenever I moved in to whenever classes start, there's a lot of events going on that you can go to, whether it's volleyball games or organization fairs or things that, if you're living in a dorm, that the dorm puts on. And it's a really good way to go out there and meet people. It's more geared to meeting people. I live in one of the dorms, and I know in the first week or two, they had a lot of, they had speed friending, so you could go out and you could meet people. And that was a good way that I met a lot of people that I still talk to now. So on the first few weeks of classes, they have these huge organization fairs, and you can go and you can just get flyers from everyone. That's what I did, was just go get flyers and see what every group is about. And I also found that getting involved is really pretty easy with the groups because they're all really welcoming and they want you to come and join and they want you to come have fun. And I found that with all the groups that I've joined, it's been a great experience because they're all so friendly, and you just have to go out there and try to find them.
How did you get involved in?
So in the first few weeks of school, UT puts on these organization fairs out in front of Gregory, the gym. And it's just like almost every organization, it seems like, comes out and they hand you flyers and you can just go see what each group has to offer. So that's what I did, and I found a few groups that I really thought fit what I wanted to be involved in, whether they're service organizations or more like academic, kind of like geared to what you want to do. So I found a few that I really enjoyed being involved in. And also I found out how, I guess, easy it is to get involved, that everyone is very welcoming whenever you want to join a group. All the officers of the groups that I've joined have been very good at trying to get you integrated into the group.